WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 5.
It's the last full day of campaigning before Election Day, and the presidential candidates are making a final pitch to voters as polls show a neck-and-neck race. It's our top story today at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones. Former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris are hitting key battleground states, trying to get their supporters to the polls if they haven't voted already in one of the closest presidential elections in recent memory. Natalie Brand is here for you with more on this final day of campaigning.
Vice President Kamala Harris is spending Election Eve crisscrossing Pennsylvania, starting the day with campaign volunteers in Scranton.
As we are canvassing, let's be intentional about building community, about building coalitions, about reminding people we all have so much more in common than what separates us.
The Harris team says it's hit more than 5 million doors across the make-or-break state.
They have knocked on my door, yes, and I noticed that we have people coming from a number of different states and knocking on doors.
Later tonight in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, more star power, including Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, and Oprah Winfrey, campaigning for the vice president.
Former President Donald Trump is hitting 3 states, including making stops in 2 of the same Pennsylvania cities as Vice President Harris. He's ending the day in Western Michigan and started it in North Carolina.
I'm doing 4 of these things today. They're big. And the voice is holding up just about barely.
After a marathon election season, Trump is focusing his closing message on immigration and the economy.
When I see the polling, I see that inflation and the economy are number 1, which is sort of standard. But I really would like to put that, because we're going to close up that border so fast.
Polling shows the 7 battleground states all still very close. More than 79 million Americans across the country have already voted early ahead of Election Day. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Here in Michigan, enthusiasm at the polls could not be higher. After more than a week of early voting, the Secretary of State says that 44% of registered voters have already made their decision. Nick Simon has been following the early voting results since the polls opened. He's here for you now with a recap of the record-setting turnout.
Sherry, more than 1.2 million people have made the trips to the polls already, and almost 2 million more have sent in absentee ballots. Election officials say that they've been pleasantly surprised by how many people have taken part in early voting options, and it's going to make everything easier tomorrow.
And so I'm pleased to report that our state's first ever early voting period during a presidential election was extremely successful and broke several records.
Voters coming out of the polls told 6 News that they appreciated the chance to come and vote at their own pace, and election workers felt like they were able to give people more time and attention than they would have on Election Day. That's a win-win, and it'll lead to a lot less confusion tomorrow and faster results after the polls close.
Voters' enthusiasm for early voting was really above and beyond anything we expected throughout the week, and we consistently saw each day over 100,000 or more folks show up to vote. The highest early voting turnout day was yesterday, Sunday the 3rd, with more than 189,000 voters showing up and casting their ballot.
And Sherry, I was one of the thousands of people in line casting my ballot yesterday. It was pretty busy. We had a 30-minute wait. But as someone who works on Election Day, the convenience of doing it over the weekend was great. Polls open for the last time tomorrow at 7 in the morning, and you'll need to make sure to be in line at 8 at night to cast a ballot.
All right, Nick, thanks for that, and good for you. Well, as we mentioned, both campaigns continue to prioritize Michigan even in the final hours of this election season. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump will finish his campaign tonight in Grand Rapids. He's scheduled to deliver remarks around 10:30. $115 and will likely close a campaign and focus on a campaign promise to make America affordable again. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ticket, Democratic vice presidential candidate Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and his wife Gwen will be in our state today to rally supporters in Detroit. The campaign hasn't revealed yet exactly when or where that rally will be held tonight, but we do expect Governor Walz to encourage the crowd to get out and vote tomorrow if they haven't already yet.
And here's the pièce de résistance. No one else is in the room, wave it at me, in the room, wave it at me, in the room, wave it at me.
Today in Lansing, Tony Award-winning actor Leslie Odom Jr. fired up volunteers to knock on doors and get out the vote for the Harris Walls ticket. The Harris Walls campaign is encouraging Michiganders to make a plan to vote on Election Day. If you still have your absentee ballot at home, you'll need to find a ballot drop location. It's too late now to put it in the mail. And heads up if you're planning to vote tomorrow in the city of East Lansing. The city clerk wants to remind you in Precinct 6 that you'll have to cast your ballot at a different location. The city temporarily moved the polling site at Eastminster Presbyterian Church to the East Lansing Hannah Community Center for tomorrow because of construction. If you end up in the wrong spot, the city will arrange a free ride to the correct location via Uber or Lyft, but you need to reach out to the precinct chair of the polling location for an access code. And of course, be sure to stay with 6 News, your local election headquarters here on air, online, and on our free 6 News app. We'll have everything you need to know about election 2024. And if you are driving to the polls, it will cost you a little bit more to get there. AAA says gas prices in Michigan are up 4 cents compared to last week. Michigan drivers are now paying an average of $3.16 a gallon for regular unleaded. That's 24 cents less than this time last month, 23 cents less than this time last year.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, wet weather has arrived and it's going to stick around for tonight and into tomorrow. Still some locally heavier amounts of rain will once again be possible. 5-day rainfall outlook, the bulk of the really heavy stuff. We're talking 3 inches plus. That is south of Cincinnati, but into mid-Michigan, we're looking at another 1/10 to a quarter, maybe a half an inch in spots. As you look at it day by day, though, tomorrow is our best chance, or tonight into tomorrow is our best chance of rain. Then much lower chances for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Although some rain showers will probably return to the area late in the weekend. The temperature trend from November the 10th through the 14th, so 6 to 10 days, is quite warm across the eastern U.S. again. Doesn't mean we're not going to get cooler. We're just not going to see anything terribly cold out there. Our high temperature trend, we go from the 60s and 70s back into the 50s. So yeah, it'll be noticeably cooler, but still well above average, because by next Thursday, our average high temperature's in the 40s and we're in the lower 50s, which will seem chilly, but not quite as cold as our 30-year average anyways. Temperatures this afternoon, 67 in Howell, 66 in Mason, Lansing, 65 degrees. It's a warm one out there, and you can feel that extra humidity in the air today. On the Skyview network, one of the biggest rainfall totals was our McLaren cam with 8,200ths of an inch of heavy rainfall this morning. Wind gust 25 miles per hour, current temperature 66 degrees. In Grand Ledge, cloudy skies, temperature at 65. Less rainfall, though, 1,700ths of an inch. High temperature today, one off the current at 66 degrees. How about the Jackson cam? Obviously lots of cloud cover. 65 is the current temp. Our rainfall total a little over 3/10 of an inch, and our wind gusts made it close to 30 miles per hour. So it's been breezy out there today, and will be tonight and tomorrow as well. Hillsdale cam, we've got some showers out there. We're over a 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. Our current temperature is at 65 degrees. Today's high was 67, morning low 57. There's a look at the rainfall that's in southern sections of mid-Michigan. So we look at precision cast. We'll have another round of rainfall out there tonight through early tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Then scattered rain showers really at any point tomorrow. They'll kind of start to congeal along this cold front, though, by tomorrow evening. That will sweep through by early Wednesday morning. We'll start out with some cloud cover, but hopefully break into at least a little bit of sunshine if we're lucky by Wednesday afternoon. Don't hold your breath, though, because you know how it goes this time of the year, and once you get to fall, sometimes the clouds, they move in and they just don't want to go. Tonight's forecast, overnight low 61 degrees with more scattered showers, winds 10 to 20, but gusting 20 to 30 occasionally. Then as we head into tomorrow, scattered rain showers and windy temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s tomorrow. Wind gusts could be between 20 and 40 miles per hour, especially around some of the showers tomorrow evening. The 6-day forecast on Wednesday, mostly cloudy, upper 50s. More sunshine, though, for Thursday and Friday. Weekend starts out okay, 59 degrees and mostly cloudy, and then rain returns for Sunday with highs near 60. The 6+ 6-day forecast gets cooler next week. Nothing too cold, though. Some rain showers late next week as temperatures fall to the lower 50s for highs.
I know, still very mild.
I mean, even the big cool downs don't get us to where we should be. It's okay.
It sure is. And tomorrow 71, a little bit of rain and kind of windy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to feel like a typical fall day except for the wind, with the warm temperatures and a little muggy again tomorrow.
All right, David. Thank you for that. Well, you know what? It's time again for our annual Coats for the Community Drive. And we've teamed up with Cristo Rey Community Center and other local partners to help people stay warm this winter. But it's not just coats. If you have hats, scarves, gloves, or any other winter clothing, you can drop them off here at the station. You can also take your donations to Cristo Rey, Carpet Studio in Okemos, your local Barry Amos Cleaners, or one of 3 Shaheen Automotive locations. We're accepting items now through November 15th.